Today, we are going to review the essential steps for the solution and clearing of alarm messages on the IRadimed 3860 MRI IV infusion pump system. We will focus on clearing the patient occlusion alarms, inlet occlusion alarms, bubble detector alarms, and the closed door alarms. Additionally, we will provide step-by-step instructions on how to clear the check door alarm messages. The IRadimed 3860's alarm alert system will help users know when the pump detects an error. The pump will sound an audio alert. The lights corresponding to channel A or B will flash red. The pump will pause the infusion. And finally, there will be an alarm message on the pump's display. As a best practice, the user must always review the alarm message before pressing the alarm silence button. Clearing the patient occlusion alarms. The patient occlusion alarm will sound if an occlusion between the pump and the patient occurs. The user will first press the alarm silence button. The user must then check the line between the patient and the pump to ensure that all slide and/or roller clamps have been opened and check the patient's IV site. Lastly, the user should check for kinked tubing to ensure that fluid flow is permitted. The user will then press the Start A or B button, depending on the channel that has the occlusion, to resume the infusion. Clearing the inlet occlusion alarm. The inlet occlusion alarm will sound if an occlusion between the pump and the fluid source occurs. The user will start by pressing the alarm silence button. The user must then check between the pump and the fluid source to ensure that any slide or roller clamps have been opened. Lastly, check for kinked tubing to ensure the fluid flow is permitted. If 1057 syringe tubing has been selected, the user must check if the white vent cap of the tubing has been opened. The user will then press the Start A or B button depending on the channel that has the occlusion to resume the infusion. Clearing the bubble detected alarm. The bubble detected alarm will sound if there are air bubbles present in the IV. The user will first need to press the alarm silence button. Next, the user will need to open the pump's door, remove the IV set from the pump, and follow their facility's protocol on removing air from an IV set. The user will then follow the steps on reloading the IV set. The user will then secure the tubing through the bubble detector, close the pump's door, and press the Start A or B button, depending on the channel that has the alarm to resume the infusion. Clearing the closed door alarm. The closed door alarm will sound when one of the pump's door handles are opened during an infusion. Additionally, it can occur if the user does not properly latch the pump's door after loading an IV set. The user will first press the alarm silence button. Next, the user will open the affected pump door and check for proper IV set installation. Be sure to check if the alignment disc is in place and the flow preventer clamp is properly inserted. The user will then shut the pump's door and secure the door handle. Finally, the user will press the Start A or B button, depending on the channel that has the alarm, to resume the infusion. Clearing the check door alarm. The check door alarm will sound when there is a possibility of IV fluid free flow. There are a couple of different scenarios when the check door alarm can occur. The user will first press the alarm silence button. Next, the user will remove the black flow preventer clamp. The user will then set the black flow preventer clamp to the closed position, reinstall the flow preventer, and close the door. Finally, the user will press the Start A or B button, depending on the channel that has the alarm, to resume the infusion. If the door is closed, the user will first press the alarm silence button. The user will then verify the door handle is fully latched and flush with the door. If not, the user will press the door handle until they hear the click. Finally, the user will press the Start A or B button, depending on the channel that has the alarm. For more information, visit www.IRadimed.com. For technical support, please call 407-677-8022.